Hello, motherfuckers, and welcome to my club of cocktails. Happy Easter. It is Bunny Day 2022, and yeah, it is just afternoon, so good motherfucking afternoon from me to you. I needed some motherfucking moisture, so we came to Club Cocktail indeed. Jaded Rose is loaded to perfection. We're going to get some contentory spread. I thought about, especially with my awesome robe on, I thought about using my fancy bunny ears, but I have a bit of a headache. I didn't even want to put my headset on, so ears are definitely a no-go, but they would look so phenomenal with the whole look, just saying. We have about 2.5 hours until Rainbow gets home, and then 3 hours until we go to my mermies. Yesterday she asked if I wanted to come over for dinner today, so I was like, sure, why not? Saves me having to, figure out Sunday meal. Plus, it is Bunny Day, so it's not uncommon to get together with family for the day. Seriously. So I had honestly wanted to do my title like moisture drown me type of thing or something along the lines of that, but I figured that putting something to drown me in my title probably wasn't the best route to go. So we just went moisture for Cottontail because that's exactly what we need. I already did kind of like my morning stretch and morning medicate. I watched some interesting things, and then took a really nice hot shower to relax my joints some more. And then I knew that I was going to make content. Like, I knew that content was going to happen before Rainbow comes home for a variety of reasons. Um, I had a phenomenal weekend where I kind of did like a solo date weekend, which was absolutely superb, but then also just kind of reminds me that I haven't had a date since August of 2020, other than with myself, and then it kind of caused a bit of that romantic loneliness to kind of wiggle its head up into things. But overall, it was a fantastic weekend. I um, chose the best sort of like romantic comedy for a movie marathon this weekend. We watched Shrek, and Shrek is such a beautiful love story, and I had never seen Shrek Forever After. That's something that probably blew my mind the most, is because I'd seen the first three and I thought I had seen the fourth one, but I definitely did not see that. I probably saw a trailer for it or like tidbits, because I knew of like Fiona's outfit, and I knew that there was like a bunch of ogres, but I didn't know what led it to that. Like the mind fuckery of that movie. Like honestly, I feel like all the Shrek movies stand alone really well on their own. Like obviously nothing's gonna beat like the classic Shrek, but like Shrek 2, Shrek the Third, and Shrek Forever After, they stand their own. Like I was so satisfied with my watch through this weekend. Very satisfied indeed. Yes, almost as satisfying as spreading the moist content is going to be. Plus, I don't know what it is about Club Cottontail. It just gives such a good energy, that good moisture. So whenever I don't quite feel like myself, or things are just like too many thoughts, too many feelings, too much everything, Club Cottontail is there. Also, this is our first meeting with our new updated HAR. I am absolutely loving my motherfucking hair. Live right motherfucking now. Come say hello. Hopefully, not going to be a crazy long meeting. It's only going to be maybe 2 hours, probably like an hour and a half. But not a crazy long meeting. Just enough to kind of give that moisture for, the arrival of Voldemort. And then also to go over to my Mermie's house and enjoy some family time. I actually find that like my social anxiety is worse around people I know. So like my social anxiety actually gets going more when I have to be around family than when I have to be around strangers. How interesting is that? Recently came to that conclusion. I'm begging, begging you, put your loving hand out, baby. Definitely going to put a little music on for the enjoyment of Jada Rose on your page. My brains just stopped for a moment and I was like, what were we doing? That's right. We are live right motherfucking now. Come say hello, Kottontales. Um, there's a link on my YouTube. There's only one link, and there will only ever be one link. I don't really ever see a day coming where I have something else to put there. But anyways, if you hit the hashtag Mooiisstt link on my YouTube page, it takes you directly to the Facebook page that's connected to it that I am currently sharing, spreading, if you will, the deliciously moist content. Get some giddy up and go, love and mwah, kisses, perfection, share now. Oh, we should do a Snapchatty one too, so we will share it there. My mom just asked me, what are you doing? I'm going to say content, because that is in fact what I am doing. Content for the moisture. Well, actually, right this moment, I'm about to share the contentery to the Snapchatty, which, unless I can tell that you're a bot, like the other day, someone with the name SKISKC, so it was like random characters, right? I was like, that's very clearly a bot. I am not adding you, but I do add everyone on Snapchat, K0TT0NTALE. My Snapchat is my preferred social media, so if you know that you're not going to talk to me and you only watch me, I remove you. I have removed people that I've known for decades because I don't care who you are or how long I've known you or how much you say you support me. If you're going to have time to watch every single one of my snaps and not even like send like hugs or a hi, just something, I'm gonna remove you. It's as simple as that. We get a lot of lurkers, and I literally have like maybe 10 people on my Snapchat, and only like on any given day 2 people watch it, but sometimes we get 5 people who watch it, and I always watch that, but, some of them, they like start watching and then they realize like either the story's super long or they're not going to talk to me, who knows, but they stop watching it, so I'm like, alright, you live another day. But it's those people who watch every single one but they didn't say shit to me. But especially on like snaps when I'm upset, it's like, how are you gonna sit there and watch a friend crying their eyes out and you're not gonna say anything to them? Makes no sense to me. But to each their own. Oh, there you go. Oh, it's being the lighting. Oh, there you go. Ooh, I'm so my carpal tunnel has been acting up something fierce, and like I wanted to play Fortnite. My hands can't do the Fortnites right now. It's a good thing that literally this season, the only skin that I even kind of think is cool is Doctor Strange, but he's not worth busting and hurting my hands and then paying $10 to try to get him when he's literally like the only thing in the battle pass that I've had much interest in. Now, if I'm being completely honest, I didn't like observe the battle pass in its entirety because I knew I wasn't going to be purchasing it because of how my hands were, and then also just kind of looking at the skins. I looked at every single skin, and none of the skins had my interest except for Doctor Strange. So I'm sure that some of the emotes or something might have caught my eye, but we don't care about those ones. I'll probably still collect the free ones because there's always free ones for each and every season, but attached to a snap, yes indeedy, yes. Oh, it says we have 1 or 2 people watching. Hello to you lurkers, whether you're gonna actually chill and chat with me, I do not know. Ooh, this is satisfying. So the picture that I took is from the back of my character, like what you see here, but the little link that I have is like from the front. I'm liking the duality here of that. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna share that on my Facebook story. Sometimes, like, I utilize my Facebook story very similarly to the way that I utilize Snapchat, and very much in the aspect that if you're only watching my Facebook story, I block you from it. Because for me, Facebook is just like an extension of Club Kottontale. Sometimes I'll put random thoughts and feelings, but really I would say like 85 to 90% of the stuff that goes onto the Facebook is Club Kottontale related. But like I had posted a video today because like I was just like super intrigued by this line on the back of my head, and I was like, what is this? So I decided to do a little video. And I also have a scar back there that I have no idea where it came from, but there's a very distinct scar. Like I must have fallen down, something hit me, but there is a scar that hair doesn't grow on back there. But I have this like line that like honestly makes me think that like maybe I was decapitated in a past life or something, because like it's just a very, very distinct line. Very freaky. Very freaky. Alright, the moisture has been spread sufficiently. I do kind of wish that I didn't have a headache, because I honestly feel like I might even try, because I think that my bunny ears would look so good with like my haar, but also like the robe. So I think we might try my bunny ears. Just give it a go. Let's just see. You know, since it is bunny day, like it doesn't have to be bunny day for me to want to wear ears, because I'm a motherfucking Kottontale. But you know, especially on the bun day, it makes sense to put the bun ears on. Nightbot's working quite well actually, which makes me very happy. Aw, says my top chatter is my mermy. I love seeing that. My top chatter usually is myself, but every so often someone else comes and chats with me consistently enough for Assbot to pop it up. Holy shit. Literally, I was going to say the two people that sometimes will pop up as frequent chatters is Harlequin and Julieta. Shit you not. I get to chat, and there's, hey, sexy Smurf twin, and hey, from Harley and my mermy. So, the two people who usually get top chatting spot just oh, it's so I mean, proving the fact that you are top chatters. What up, girls? Goyles. Alright, I'm gonna grab my Boone ears real quick.
There's something about this spot. I'll be sad to leave.
How cute are these? So, I would have to move my camera to be able to get the ears all the way in, but I put my camera in a place where my head is roughly in the middle area, and I like where the camera is, so we're not fucking with it. But like, how cute is this? Especially like they're lacy black, and then we have like this cheetah number, like, Are you laughing at me, LOL? No. I literally was not laughing at anybody. You couldn't get... Right? You couldn't get a better entrance from us at the same time like that. Truly, truly, I could not. Like, what, like, just the chances that I was, like, literally thinking about, oh, you know, my mermy and my sexy Marge from across the pond, they tend to be the two top chatters, and then just randomly I pop back, you know, get into the actual chat, and who's there? The two top chatters. So I may have to take these off at some point because I do have a headache and I don't want to add to it. But for the time being, this is like super cute. I also kind of position them in a certain spot with my shaved head. It makes it a little bit easier. I feel like it keeps it in place. Mom, no, I was not. My mom's like, a few ago you wore, literally was not laughing at anybody. If you think I'm laughing at you, that is your own brain telling you that I was laughing at you. I literally did not directly laugh at anybody. Like, at all. Like, at all, at all. But anyways, I'm not even going to, like, this meeting is for fucking moisture. I don't need headache. So, anyways, hello, motherfuckers, and welcome to my club of Kottontales. This meeting today, if you have noticed the title or maybe not, it says Mooiisstt-ure for Kottontale. So whenever there's a title like that, that means that I needed this club Kottontale meeting. I don't make content willy-nilly, and I especially don't make it as, like, things for other people to watch. Like, I literally make content as a way to help me feel better. It's like therapy, and this meeting especially is like therapy. I mentioned at the beginning of the meeting that, Rainbow gets home at 3, and then shortly after that we're going to be going to my mermaids for like dinner and such. And then I also mentioned that my social anxiety is more triggered by people that I know than people I don't know. So we are all over the place. Like, we have the added stuff of the day, but we were already previously needing content from, romantic loneliness. If you were here at the very beginning, you already know all of this. But before we have a chance to even let the brains try to comprehend things that we don't need to comprehend, let's just enjoy our second toke of the day, get some more medicine in us. After we get more of a base medicate, then we'll grind some more up because past future Amber will be very disappointed in past Amber if we do not grind a bit up. But yeah. Oh, Club Kottontale is so needed. I know the chances and timing was spot on. It really was spot on. And the chances, it's very, very slim in the chances. It's weird. It usually tells you what time someone comments, but I swear, like, YouTube is constantly updating things, so, like, now it doesn't say that. So I don't know exactly what time you guys had commented, but it's currently 12:42 p.m., so good motherfucking afternoon from me to you, but good evening and good morning to all the wonderful Kottontales around the world. We are going to get some more medicine in us, and then I had mentioned my carpal tunnel is being extra achy. I wanted to play Fortnite, but we could not do that. I honestly don't know even the chances of us being able to play Red Dead, actually. Like, if they're feeling okay, we might do some of this just to earn some money and gold, collect some jewelry, and then maybe 3 other collectibles. But even just like holding the controller hurts my hand, but especially having to press X over and over again to get my horse to ride hurts my hands. So really, like all meetings, is just needed for the contentory. I thought about doing a meeting from my phone so then there wasn't a game in the background, but I love Red Dead. Red Dead Online is relaxing, it's soothing. Like, every so often you might run into someone who plays the game like a super duper outlaw and is just like trying to fuck with everyone, but for the most part it's just people doing their damn thing, going off doing their own thing, gathering, doing whatever. It's really quite lovely. Joke? I didn't say a joke. You've got me confused, Mermy. I have no idea what you're talking about. I was laughing when I laughed earlier. I was laughing at the irony of the fact that I was talking about these were the top chatters, and then when I got into the chat, those just happened to be there. So I laughed. Wasn't making a joke. I didn't laugh at anybody. I'm very confused. I don't understand, but I'm not gonna try to understand. Alright, let's get some giddy up and go love and blowing out some smoke, letting you know that this motherfucker is about to toke, and a much needed toke at that. I'm just like, I'm so confused because literally this meeting has been very serious. The only thing that I laughed at was the fact that the top chatters usually are these two people, and then when I popped in, they just happened to be there. So I laughed. But none of which I have talked about thus far in this meeting is a joking matter. Like like I had mentioned at the very beginning of this meeting, I wanted to make the title "Drown Me in Your Moisture" or something like that. Like I just needed the moisture. Like otherwise, I'm not going to get through the rest of this day. I'm not going to get through my Mermy week. I'm especially not going to get through the fact that in 3 days marks 5 years since I ever had my very first pregnancy test. 4/20/2017 was the very first day I ever peed on a pregnancy test and had it be positive, and I ended up miscarrying. So, like, last month was crazy busy with a bunch of shit. And then this month has a bunch of other stuff that causes panic and despair in me. Like, I'm already a ball of triggers and anxiety, like, all the fucking time. But especially for the month of April and May of every year since 2017, I have been a ball of anxiety because, from April 20th, 2017 to May 20th of 2017, I was pregnant with my first ever child, and then I lost them. And then there was a bunch of other crazy stuff that went on. So it's like, I came here because I needed the therapeutic nature that Club Kottontale is. It is not my duty to make sure that everyone hears and understands what comes out of my voice. On that note, cheers. I'm really glad I put my bunny ears on. Even though you can't see the top of it, and I kind of gave both sides, their own little personality, but I like that you can actually see the folded one really well. I really love the shape of my bunny ears. Like, I just love the personality and style that I gave them. I don't love that when I bought these from the Halloween store, Spirit Halloween, I had to do a lot of fixing. Like, the like cover was coming off, so I had to do a lot of sewing to make it better. But it turned out quite nicely. I'm very happy with it. I bought these ears because I'm the type of person, being that I am Cottontail, I like wearing ears year round. And I wanted a pair of sexy ears. Like, I'd never really had sexy ears. I always had really cute ears. For the longest time, I had a fluffy purple pair that I used, and then after that, it was like a white pair with like some checker in it. And like, I was like, you know what? I'm over 30. I want some sexy ears now. So this is our very first pair of sexy bunny ears, and I absolutely love them. I do miss the ones that I had from high school. I had them for the longest time, and I wore them from like 14 until I was like 24 or 25 until they finally broke. Um, but they were, when I got them, they were like a bright pastel purple, but then throughout the years they faded to like a really pastel purple, like a lilac. Oh, it was so awesome. Aw, thank you. Yes, I'm glad that you popped in too. It's always lovely to see you. I love you. I also love that you are one of the people on Snapchat who doesn't watch stories unless you're going to interact with the motherfucking stories. Because you understand the, like, feeling of, like, why the fuck are you watching all of my snaps and not going to talk to me? Harley is a person that I have on Snap. One of my, like, 10 people that I have on Snapchat. Because I really am picky. I don't add people on Snapchat to be watched. I'm not your entertainment. I am not your television. I am a person who wants to have conversations with people. Man, there's like fighting going on. I can hear the gunshots, but like it makes me not want to leave my camp even more. Anyways, I hate that, like, I always feel like I have to force my medicine. I know that what it does and how it helps me. And I get a lot of guff from people who are like, oh, like, all you're doing is smoking marijuana. Like, how can you hate that? I'm like, because it's medicine. And I don't particularly enjoy doing the things that you know what I mean? Like, um, I've tried edibles. Edibles don't do it for me. The tinctures and stuff work, and so does, like, capsulated THC works, but it takes longer. Like, that's one thing, the main difference with herb or flower is that it's an instant. Like, I wait 5 minutes and I'm medicated. So I'm really hoping that this year I'm able to get it established to where I can have a psychiatrist who will listen to me, and then we can get, the medical marijuana route going, so then I can have more accessibility to the types of medicine that I want. Because when you're a medical user, you do get some discounts, and even in some cases, I don't know fully on Oregon's because I haven't looked into it that much. I know more on Washington's, but I know like Washington has specific medical dispensaries that you only know about if you're a medical marijuana user, and then you can get like an allotted batch of medicine for the month. So essentially, you go and you get, weed type of thing. Yes, thank you. See, she was just like, I do think it's rude to not interact. I mean, you watch the story, so what's stopping you from saying a simple hello? Thank you. Thank you. That's my exact thought. But see, like, especially for me, my Snap is my preferred social media, so like I put all my thoughts and feelings on there. So most of the time people are literally watching me like bawling my eyes out, bearing my soul, and they're just like, I feel like this is them, on their phone. They're just like, oh, that's so sad. She's crying again. Like, because you don't say anything, but yet you watch the whole thing. I don't give a fuck if you're just clicking through it. You know what I mean? Either way, you took the time to click through it. You have time to send, like, are you okay? Or even just a hello. Like it annoys me when it's completely opposite. Like this one time, someone responded to a snap talking about my hair when in the literal snap I was upset. It was a snap where I was upset and sad. And they were like, "Oh, I thought your hair was all white." And I'm like, "This motherfucker." Oh, man. But that's actually a person that I've been thinking about removing because, they I get why they follow me. They consider me body positive and, a motivation and things like that. But if that's the case, why do you not talk to me? Why do you still only watch my snap? Like that makes no sense to me. And I understand, a lot of these people they have hundreds of people on their Snapchat, so they don't view Snap the way that I do. And that's perfectly fine. You do you, I will do me. I don't have 100 people watching my Snap and I would never allow that. When I had like literally there was like 12 people watching it and only like 2 or 3 people would say anything, I removed all those people. Now I only have 2 or 3 people that watch my story because I removed all of those people who were just watching me. And even when I would call them out, I would call people out, I would send a direct message asking like, why the fuck are you just watching? Oh, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, removed. Like, if you don't know why you're doing something, you shouldn't fucking do it. I tell my child that all the time. If you don't know why you're doing something, don't do it. Simple as that. See, I could not see my friend down and not let them know I'm here when they want my support. Right? Me either. Me either. And when I know that I'm not going to respond to a story, like I'm not mentally in a place where I can view someone's story and respond properly, guess what? I don't watch the damn story. Because I think a lot of people, they just watch these stories because they feel like they're missing out on something. And it's like, bro, it wasn't even there beforehand, so what are you missing out on? But like there's really no other explanation to why they watch the way they watch unless they feel like they're missing out on something or they're lurking for their own, you know, insidious purposes. Like I already know there's a shit ton of people who follow me just because they hope that I'll slip up, say something a certain way, do something a certain way, and then they'll attempt to use it against me. It has happened many times in the last 6 years. I imagine it will happen many more times. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Oh man, but should be a good day. It's almost 1 o'clock now. Rainbow will be home in about 2 hours. Um, I'm a like I'm looking forward, to not having to make food, and I know Rainbow will enjoy seeing her cousin and stuff like that. But I'm a little disappointed that they're coming to get us so soon, because Rainbow literally gets home right around 3, and then 3:30 is when they're going to be coming to get us. And it like gives me no chance to spend the day with my child. Like, she's been at her dad's, you know what I mean? So, I'm gonna basically get to not spend any of Bunny Day alone with my kid, really, which is kind of shitty. But it's mainly like I did this bomb baskets. Like, I did some bomb. This is the first year. This is her fourth Easter, but it's the first year that I actually put candy in her basket. Um, the first 3 years I did not do that at all. So this year she actually has some candy, and there's a bunny rabbit that she picked out. Like, I'm really excited for her to get at her bunny baskets. I'm not religious, so when I celebrate holidays that are religious, I prefer to not call them, Easter, Christmas. Like, Christmas time is Yule for me, and this day is Bunny Day. It's Bunny Day. I love bunnies. I'm obsessed with rabbits. So of course, a holiday like Easter, that's, you know, they like. It's really quite interesting how like the Christian holidays decided to make like this pretend thing that gives you stuff, because like Christmas time you have Santa, and then Easter you have the Easter bunny, when like the holidays are supposed to just be like Jesus's birthday and then the day that Jesus rose after being killed or whatever. That's literally what Easter is about. But for me, my daughter will understand that they exist because of a Christian background, but we celebrate it because of what we want to enjoy it for. I like bunny rabbits. I think the making the little baskets are super cute. You know, um, it's fun to decorate. Like, I love bunny rabbits. Why wouldn't I want to put, yeah. Like, I'm more of the person that will say hoppy Easter versus happy, just like because it's all about the bunnies, man. But I also don't do the whole like Santa's real and but Easter Bunny's real. Like, they're not real in this household. They are the spirits of thy holiday. But I also explained to Rainbow, don't tell other people. Like, um, just because we don't doesn't mean that other people shouldn't. But I believed in Santa way longer than I should have. And when it eventually came to, it was just like the way that it all happened was so messed up. Like, my parents were just like, I thought you already knew. Like, a lot of like insensitivity from my childhood. Um, and I just want to make sure that that type of stuff doesn't happen to my Rainbow. So she is never going to think that, during Yule, a fat man's bringing us gifts. And whenever she sees Santa, from the moment she was born, I would be like, this is Santa. He's the symbol of Christmas. Same thing with the Easter bunny. I'd be like, that's the symbol of Easter. Like, and then as she gets older, explain like why they exist. Because I tell her now, but she's only 3. You know what I mean? So telling her now, it's not like she's gonna remember per se. But as she gets older, that's when it will be really important for her to understand. Like, don't ruin it for other kids if they believe in Santa. Say like, yeah, Santa's amazing. He's the symbol of Christmas. Don't ever be like, oh, he's not real. What the fuck you talking about? Your parents buy you those presents. Don't ruin it. Because that's just it. Is like, holidays are supposed to be magical and fun, and really it's just like a time for people to come together and be joyful, and even maybe just for a day forget about some of the hardships that they have going on. you know I feel like that's what holidays are really about. I do. I am very thankful for my positivity and my outlook on things, especially when it comes to doing solo dates and things like that. But something about this solo date weekend, because I've never really done that. I've done date days, but I've never done it where I did it over the course of a couple days. Like, it started Friday night and went all day Saturday, sort of thing. I've never really done that, but like last night when I went to bed, and especially when I woke up this morning, I was just feeling so romantically lonely. Just so fucking romantically lonely. Like, man, Like, there's nothing like making you feel good by spoiling yourself with a solo date, but then that realization of like, fuck. The only dates that I've had in the last 2 years have been with myself. Solo dates all the way. And my last date with a human being was August of 2020, and it was a bad date. It was not a good date. And then before that was December of 2018, and that was actually with my now ex-husband. And that date was our first date that we had went on since having our daughter. Like, I actually had her fairy godmother watch her. Rainbow was 6 months old at that time. So my last two dates since December of 2018, one was December 2018 and then August of 2020. Those are the only dates that I had with other people. One was the abusive ex-husband, and then another was, it was a date slash first meetup. So it was the first time I was meeting this person. Um, Never again. I won't be doing any of that sort of jazz. Been there, done that. Not for me. The whole first date slash first meetup. That's no. When I have a date with someone, it will be someone that I have been talking to for a while, at least a week or more. You know, we have some sort of a connection. We talk on a consistent basis. We seem to enjoy each other's company, and then someone asks someone on a date. You know. Well, uh, see, I don't know your full romantic history. I don't know how long it's been since you had a boyfriend. I also don't know if like what you choose to do, because for all I know you could be into casual hookups. You know what I mean? I don't know your life like that. For me, I'm not into that. Like, I have literally been romantically lonely, fake romantically, like, cuz everything that my ex-husband gave me was fake romance, but the last time he gave me romance was like 2016. So the last time that I got romance, and it was fake romance, was 2016. It is 2022. That was 6 years ago since I got fake romance. But that was fake romance, so you can't include anything that Voldemort did. So you have to go back to the ex-boyfriend who gave me romance. And that was back in like 2010. Maybe 2011, but 2010. So it's been 12 years since I've had true romance. And it's been almost 2 years since I've had a date. But really, like, I haven't had a lot of dates in general. Like, yeah, I don't even get hit on. I got hit on when I was, like, whenever I was in a relationship, I always got hit on. But that wasn't even, like, getting hit on. That was, like, thirsty people trying to thirst on you. And I don't like that. I really hate that type of shit. But no, so if you're, 6 to 12 years in romantic loneliness, then yes, you understand what I'm going through. But if you don't, then you don't. Like, I have been romantically lonely for a decade, and I have been single for over 2 years. Yeah. And not for lack of trying. Like, I put myself back in the dating world 2 years ago. It's spring 2022. I put myself back in the dating world spring of 2020. So, and I felt so hopeful. Put yourself back into the dating world spring of 2020, and then summer of 2020, I get a date. I felt so hopeful that more dates were gonna come. Yeah, they didn't. They didn't. Oh, cool for you. Cool for you. Well, don't say it like that, because I have had one night stands and I know my worth. I know what I like. I go for what I want. And I've had one night stands and I've had casual sex, and I definitely have done friends with benefits. So don't word it like that. You know what I mean? Because a person can have casual sex and fuck buddies and know their own worth. You have to listen to yourself. You know what I mean? I did that in my 20s. Not for me. I got married because I wanted to be married. Like, I wanted to be with one person for the rest of my life. I thought that number 13 was going to be the last. Oh, wow. You've been single for 4 years. That's crazy. Well, my bad in assuming that because you go out a lot that you've had dates and things like that. Of course, you could be single for 4 years and have had dates, but you go out a lot, so that's surprising to me. No offense, Jody, but this is definitely way different. You go out and you converse with people all the time. You have the opportunities for people to flirt with you, and for you to actively be like, no, I'm not interested. I don't have that. So I'm not choosing to be single. you, you know what I mean? There's a difference there. Unless I'm wrong, and you haven't had anybody flirt with you, but I know what you look like, and I know that you go out, and there's no way that you don't get hit on. There's no way that someone doesn't go, wow, you're like, I'd like to get to know that badass bitch. Like, there's no way that doesn't happen. Do you say no? Most likely, probably. But I don't have that. I have, like, I don't have that. So, like, you probably aren't on dating apps because you're not looking for dates. You're not looking for someone. I am. There's a difference. That's why, like, in order for it to be exactly the same, you would have to have the exact same sort of experience. You know what I mean? And most people that I know that have been single for a super long time, a lot of them like, oh, I don't even care to have a significant other. Like, I'm happy with my single life, you know. But I'm thinking that's not totally true because you said that you've been romantically lonely for coming up on 6 years. So I don't know. I don't know. That's a confusing thing for me because like if I had people actively flirting with me, I wouldn't be romantically lonely because I'd have people consistently interested. You know what I mean? I don't get flirted with. I get led on. I get flirted with for a day and then ghosted. You know what I mean? But you probably do understand the romantic loneliness. You definitely don't understand the romantic loneliness with loneliness on top of it because you hang out with people all the time. Plus you have a job that keeps you interacting with people. You get a lot of social interaction. So if you are just regular lonely, my heart hurts for you because if you're getting that much social interaction, no one should be lonely. But being lonely and romantically lonely are different because to be lonely means that you don't hang out with anybody. To be romantically lonely means that you haven't had anybody, flirting with you. You haven't had any prospects of any kind. Like, being led on is not a prospect. That is being led on. Oh, you are on a dating site. Oh, okay. And that's the experience. That is definitely the I don't know which dating you say dating site, so that leads me to believe that it's not a dating app, but I don't know. Like a dating site to me would be like Match.com, whereas like a dating app would be Tinder or Bumble. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much my experience too. But I attract men that are thirsty and don't want commitment. Yep. But I don't even really get any like every so often when I do get interaction, that is the interaction. But most of the time, like I'll match with someone and then it just sits there, you know. And I have it on my profiles that I've always been the aggressor in all of my relationships, but especially romantic ones. So it'd be nice to be courted. If I was reading that on someone's profile, and I had interest in them, I would hit them up. You know what I mean? Not just let them sit in the matches wondering, like, oh, are you ever going to say hi? Like I'm very traditional in that aspect. I'm a very dominant person, and in the past, I was never really mindful. I just saw something I wanted and went for it. Um, and I'm having to be mindful now to not do that. Not say hello first, not flirt first. I will not purposely flirt on first because I want to be courted. I've never really experienced that feeling of someone actually like wanting me and going for me. I had that experience when I was married of thirsty dudes wanting me, but that's not the same. I want to have that experience where you have that initial attraction. Like attraction is important, so you have that initial attraction where you're like, "Damn, okay, how you doing?" But then you use your mindfulness to get to know the person. Like, "Okay, I'm attracted to the outer being. Let's see if I'm attracted to the inner being." And then, you just let the natural flow and connection go from there. But in my experience, and it's sounding like you're experiencing the same, is that people just don't want to talk. They don't want to have a conversation. If like, and what's more fucked up is like they can be reading a profile that very clearly states the person isn't looking for casual, but then they still fucking message you like DTF. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, your kid's a little bit older. I already know that when Rainbow gets older, she will combat that lonely side a bit, but like, I have a 3-year old and I'm just exhausted. She definitely like, I don't feel lonely during the week because I'm with Rainbow. It's the weekends. It's the weekends when I feel lonely. Because I don't have that sort of support that you have. You know what I mean? I can't work, so job support is out of the picture. And all of my friends are really introverted. No one hits me up. You know what I mean? I'm always the one having to hit people up, and very rarely do they hit me back, sort of thing. I haven't been invited to something since like 2015. November 2015 to be exact was the last time that I was invited to something. Um, I want to say that me and Voldemort got invited to something like in like 2016 or 20, yeah, maybe 2016, but really like 2015 is the last time I can remember I was invited to something. It's been a long time since someone's invited me to something. I've invited people to things. Last March I had a cave warming party where I invited, my closest friends and my best friends to a cave warming party. And, most people showed up and it was a good time and everything, but I would love to be invited to something. I would love to have a relationship with someone where they just talk to me on a regular basis. I actually recently tried to reconnect with someone that I've known for over a decade, and things were going good. Like 2 weeks of like talking every day, planning to hang out, and then literally 2 days before we were supposed to hang out, they ghosted me. They just never messaged me back. I messaged them and then I just stopped messaging. Like the day we were supposed to hang out, I sent them a message, um, you know, and then I never messaged them again because it's not worth my time because they ghosted me. That's my experience. So I kind of already know that the next time that I actually get consistent conversation with someone, it'll probably be with someone who will end up being my future boyfriend or girlfriend, my future prince. But, yeah. It's hard out here to fucking get social interaction. Like people who have even just one person they talk to every day, and like when something happens in your day, you're like, oh, I gotta tell so and so. You're so lucky. I have people that I think that, and I used to, but then they never respond, and they like, yeah. I've literally had a friend respond a month after a message, and it was like kind of an important message, and they were like, "Oh my god, I just saw this. I am so sorry." And I'm like, it's what it is. What it is. It is what it is. I do have my best duder who, whenever I hit him up, he always hits me back, and within a very like consistent time period. But he's a guy and I love him, but guys trigger me. So there's lots of things that I don't feel comfortable talking to him about. I need someone with a vagina to talk to them about. Yeah, and someone's like, "What about a gay guy?" I'm like, "That's not the same." Like, it's just there's certain things that I just don't feel comfortable talking to people who have penises with. It's nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with my fucked up childhood and how I process things. Just men make me very uncomfortable, which is kind of interesting because I do tend to have more male friends than female friends. But that's because, males don't want to talk about their feelings. Women like to gossip and things like that. Oh man. It, so, when I feel that I can hit him up, I do. And I know I can hit him up at any time with anything, but I have to feel comfortable doing it. But I love Ray. Ray is like, he's my soulmate. He's my best friend, you know? And it's the same thing with, like, my best bitch, Shelly, but, like, Shelly's dealing with her own stuff. She's currently healing from her own stuff, so she's not really in a place where she can, get, like, plus she's never really been that person that I go to with serious stuff, you know what I mean? Like, we've always just been, it's hard to explain. Like, whenever we hang out, it's like we've never not hung out, and we just talk about whatever comes to the brains. You know what I mean? It's never like planned or anything like that. That's how it is with a soulmate. Nothing's ever planned. Um, so I have soulmates, and then those are my best friends, and then I have, really close individuals, and like my soul sister, she's she's like a best friend, but she's more of a sister. Like like with Shelly, she's more the same thing with Shelly. It's more of a sister than a best friend. So it's like it's hard to explain. So like in the end I'm not lonely, but I am lonely because none of these people are here with me. None of these people see me on a regular basis, talk to me on a regular basis. So it's like most of the time I don't feel lonely because I just think about the people who are there for me even though, they are far away or whatever. But it's hard to not miss having that daily conversation. But that's why I already know that, like, most likely the consistent conversation will end up being someone who has romantic notions to our connection, not just a friendly. Because I consistently make friends. Like, I have my friend Leah, who I consider a close friend, but that's the same sort of thing. Leah hasn't invited me to anything yet. I just have randomly showed up, plus I have invited myself. I'm still waiting for that invitation. I'll be so happy. Like, oh my god. Romance is coming. Seriously, though. Nothing like spoiling yourself for a solo date weekend to just remind you of your romantic loneliness. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, see, but this just is that it was a friend who ghosted me, someone that I've known for over a decade, and we were just trying to rekindle a friendship, and then they just stopped talking to me. But I hate it too. I cannot fucking stand it. I keep the deposition on it that ghosting will always be better than flourishing, or I should say, attempting to flourish something going nowhere. Because that person who ghosted you, they had no intentions of actually getting to know you. So in the end, it's better they ghosted you because you don't waste your effort. But it fucking doesn't take away the fact that it's shitty. And my girl Harley, she understands because it's like, dude, I would rather you be upfront and honest. That's how I am. When I don't feel romantic notions or I don't see it going a certain way, I'm upfront and honest about it. Like, the last person that I ghosted, it's because they did a hard drug when we hung out, and I felt unsafe, uncomfortable, unwelcome, unwilling to try to get to know that person. And it was easier for me to be like, just not talk to them. Like, they dropped me off at my house, and I immediately removed them from my Facebook. I didn't block them because I didn't want them to be like, I didn't want to trigger them. You know what I mean? In thinking like that I type of thing. I just didn't want to converse with them. So I didn't block them, but I removed them. And when they messaged me again, I just archived it, never responded back. I ghosted that person. But unless you make me feel unsafe, I'm not going to ghost you. I'm always going to tell you. Like, there's no way that I could have comfortably told that person, look, what you were doing didn't make me feel safe or comfortable, and I just don't think that I can hang out with you again. Because especially after this particular person told me they had situations where that happened, and like it made them upset, and they even said that like they would have rather not known, because they can figure it out for themselves type of thing. So, yeah. The time that I ghosted someone, it was I have no remorse in that. And I'm sure that anytime someone ghosts someone, they have no remorse in it because I truly feel like the person ghosting is because they're saving their feelings for whatever, or they just don't care. They really don't care. Um, because why else would you like this person that ghosted me? We had been talking every day, and they had been, just like saying all the different things and stuff that we were gonna hang out with. But the fucked up part is that as soon they thought I was flirting with them, and when they brought that up, I was like, no, I was not, you know. And as soon as that was all kind of came to light, the tone changed, everything changed, and then shortly after they stopped talking. So, I can only go off of an assumption, even though that makes an ass out of you and me. But the assumption is that, they probably thought they were going to get one thing, and when they realized that they weren't, they didn't. But see, the extra fucked up part of that is that I actually have hooked up with that particular friend, and if they had put in even just a tiny bit of effort, my brains might have taken that bait. And in retrospect, I'm glad that it didn't, because I don't want that. I don't want a casual hookup, not even with someone that I've slept with before, because it won't affect my number, because I really care about that number for some reason. Couldn't tell you why, I just do. I am how I am. But I'm glad that it went the way it did, because I don't want that. I don't want a casual relationship. I don't want casual kisses. I don't want to give a piece of this delicious cake to anybody. I want to give the whole cake to one person. And my prince is out there, and we gonna wait. You know what I mean? So, like, as much as it doesn't hurt any as much now, especially because that was last weekend, and we've used a lot of mindfulness and talking about it. You reveal to heal. Case point. Period. So with revealing with the friend that decided to ghost us, the more it heals us. And really, I'm glad that it happened that way, because I would have ended up doing something potentially that I didn't want to do. So it worked out better that way. But it just would be nice if someone would keep a consistent conversation, and if they're not wanting to, just like voice it. Don't change it though. Don't change what? In the end, I'm always gonna be me. If I end up having some casual sex, I doubt it, but if I ended up having some casual sex, so be it. Um, but I just don't see that happening, because I I want an emotional connection before I even kiss someone. Like, I want, like, the next person that I have sex with, they will be someone that I actually will consider to be a future prince. They could be a potential, boyfriend or girlfriend. And not just the willy-nilly. I am not dating for right now. I'm dating forever. The messages, like, the tone and the wording and the message have become more short and blunt. Well, the tone changed, but yeah, short and blunt and infrequent. So, not necessarily so much short and blunt, but like they would literally be very quick to respond, message during breaks and things like that. And then it went from that to, you know, hours between it, even a day between responses. And then, like, when they finally do respond, it's like something very, like, blase. Like, this particular person knows that I'm a stay-at-home mom, and that's my life. They know that my life is very routine. And when they had messaged me, they were like, "Oh, so what's some of the juicy gossip? What's been going on?" And I'm like, "Juicy gossip?" I'm like, you act as if I'm not just a stay-at-home mom. Like, it was just like everything changed. You know what I mean? And it was ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's very much let be known. He went from being like, "Oh, we're gonna go play pool. We should go do this, do that. One day I'll make you steaks. Oh, I want to show you my rock collection." To, "Oh, I'm not gonna talk to you anymore." And my tone and stuff didn't change. Like, if you go through the messages, everything about me is exactly the same. And I think, like, honestly, I feel like he saw that and realized, like, oh shit, she wasn't flirting with me. You know? Because I wasn't. And the extra funny part is, like, I could tell that he was flirting, or at least I thought he was, but at the same time, I didn't know if that was just, like, the natural flirtatiousness, because him and I have always been natural flirts. And so I tested it, and I decided to flirt, but I put a friendly person to it. So, like, they had mentioned something about, like, their hat being, like, French, and it makes them want to paint, and I was like, "Oh, paint me like one of your French girls," laughing my ass off. So it was flirting, but it was friendly. So I wanted to read how they went off of it, and all they did was say, "laughing my ass off." So I was like, "Oh, okay, so they're not flirting with me, it's just friendly." went about my damn way. You know what I mean? And mind you, it's like I'm not going to go above and beyond because I don't want to be the aggressor. If someone wants to actually get to know me in any sort of way, they need to be the aggressor. I am done being the aggressor. I have done it for decades. I'm no longer like I've always been the one to go above and beyond in all relationships. From, that you meet someone, they're a new acquaintance, and then it turns into a friendship. I've always been the one to flourish it. I'm always the one that flourishes it. I'm not going to do it. I want someone to show that initiative, and then, you know, they'll probably get confused because me being the type of person I am, once they show that initiative and like the connection is created, there's no way I'm not going to be able to be me. And I'm very dominant. I very much am like super flirty. I know what I want. You know what I mean? Um, it may even confuse them a little bit. Like, wait a minute, you're pretty aggressive, but you didn't want to be the aggressor. And I'm like, yeah, I am aggressive. I'm just trying to not be. Like, I don't want to be the full aggressor in it. I want someone to, vie for me as much as I vie for them, you know, instead of the one-sided fucking bullshit that I've always had. So, to keep that one-sided BS from happening, I'm not being the aggressor. I'm not saying hello first. Unless it's on Bumble, because that's part of Bumble's sort of setup, is in order to get a match, you both have to swipe right, and then the woman says hello, and the guy has 24 hours to respond, and then once he responds, the girl then has 24 hours to respond to him. Then, and only then, is it made an actual full match. I like that, because it's showing that each person has willingness to want to get to know the other person. There's not a lot of people with willingness to get to know the other person, just saying. My 2 years of, experiencing the dating apps and things like that, like, the dating world is just so much different than the last time I was in it, which was late 2012 and early 2013. Like, and I wasn't on apps. If dating apps existed then, I didn't know about them. I could not tell you if, dating apps existed in 2012 or 2013 because I didn't use them. I don't, yeah. Yeah, no, I like Bumble. I've tried quite a few different dating apps, even some of the like lesser, like when Hinge came out, I decided to pop in and see what that was about. Um, and then there was a hot minute where I decided that I was like not going to use apps and I deleted all of them. But then when I finally rejoined them again this year, after like 6 months off of them or something like that, I joined the ones that I enjoyed the way it was set up or like previous interactions that I may have gotten. Woo Plus, I'm on there because I'm a big girl, and everyone on there, unless they're a bot or a troll, is on there because they like big girls or big guys. So I like that. I like the way Tinder is set up. I can't fully explain it, but I love the way the bio's set up, the pictures, everything. So whereas like Tinder is basically I want to fuck you app, I add myself to it because I like the setup of it, and I just make sure that my profile is very geared to let people know, like, if anything, they're probably like, damn, this bitch is fucking up the algorithm because it straight up says, I'm looking for my forever someone. That's the first line. You know what I mean? Whereas most people don't have a bio, and if they do a bio, it's like DTF, or they just put a random emojis, or they put like a resume almost, like their height, their weight, and things like that. Like, I put BBW and my height because I do think that height plays a role in the attractiveness of someone. Like, I'll date someone of any height. I've dated people shorter than me. I've dated people taller than me. I've dated someone that was right around my height. You know what I mean? But I am more attracted to people who are taller than me. Just like someone might not want to date a tall girl and they find out I'm 5'8", they're like, oh shit, like I'm not trying to date someone that's almost as tall as me. Like, it is, people like what they like, right? So I definitely put that on Tinder, that 5'8" and BBW, because Tinder has everybody. And I'm not trying to catfish anyone. I think it's bullshit that some of these big sexy bitches out here trying to catfish people into thinking that they're 3 sizes smaller than they are, when own up to your deliciousness, baby. Someone is going to want to like you for you, so if you're not being you, how are they supposed to like you for you? I mean, real. Um, and then like with Bumble, I like the sort of what it takes to get a match created. Um, effort has to be put behind it. Now, that being said, the effort doesn't always happen. I have said hello to quite a few people and it never becomes a match. I've had ones that become match and it's still just like bleh. Damn girl, we're the same height, we're legit twins. Right? Twins just 6 year, well, like you just turned 29, so 7 years age difference. That's awesome though that we're the same height. uh, uh, See, I don't have that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Um, I had one previously profile, but I deleted all of those sort of things. Um, and then I wasn't on there for a good amount of time. But yeah, I always my pictures are very updated. So because I change my hair a lot and things like that. But like, are those profiles that you made? Because she's like, problem is my pictures and videos get used so much. There's profiles on Bumble, Tinder, plenty of fish of me already, like that you made or someone else made. I've had that happen. Uh, 2017. I had someone message me on Facebook. They're like, "Hey, baby girl," and I was like, "Who are you?" They're like, "Don't play coy. I met you on this some dating site is what it ended up being." But I was like, "I'm sorry, but you didn't meet me on there." They're like, "But it was your pictures." I'm like, "I'm sorry, someone's catfishing you." I'm like, "It is not me." And then it made me feel really good. I was like, "Oh shit, you think I'm sexy enough to catfish someone?" Like, how you doing? And then I felt bad. Like, damn, there are really people out here just like not being themselves, and it makes it very difficult. But I feel like as long as you have the mindset with dating apps that, you know, 95% of the people are just on there for fun and games. Whatever fun and games that may be, it is on them. They could be trolling, they could be bots, they could be just looking for casual sex, whatever. Then you have the 5% of people like me who actually put effort into their profile, who actually are looking and attempting to read and look at everything before they swipe right or left, um, and actually hope to make a real true blue connection that could flourish to something from the casual acquaintance into friendship, close friendship, and hopefully in my case I want romance. Like, I have plenty of friends, and unless you're an extrovert, I definitely would love to have an extroverted friend, but like, I have a shit ton of friends. Like, if anything, sometimes it can be exhausting, when I like hit up all of my friends. I'm like, damn, I'm done with social interaction for the day. I just said hello to 20 people. Like, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need any more friends. But in the natural roller coaster that is relationships, friendship is on there. So, of course, before I get to my prince, before I get to that romantic connection, my future girlfriend or boyfriend, my motherfucking Prince Charming, friendship happens on that. I think it's ridiculous that some people think that if like you're romantic and you really hope to have somebody in your life, that you just like skip the friendship part and you just hop right into a relationship. Which I'm sure some people do that, but I don't. Man, I always have a few months in between relationships. Sometimes it's been very low. Like, the longest period of time I had between a relationship was like maybe 8 months, which is a long time but isn't a long time. But like, I have never been that type of person, like, oh, I broke up with someone, a month later I'm with someone new. Oh, no, 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 no. There was always 6 months plus in between those things. Gosh, actually, it was more like 10 months. Actually, it was almost a year, because after me and my first serious boyfriend, Pashua, after we broke up, like, I really was just like, I didn't want a relationship. And when I met Dan, we started out as a casual relationship. Like, I wasn't looking for anything serious, and then it became the serious relationship that it was. But there was still like a 10-month period where like I wasn't even thinking about romance. It wasn't until I met that person that romance came into my brain. And then after Voldemort, or after Dan, I should say, Um, I was single for about 6 to 7 months. And then after Voldemort, we're here, and I've been single since November 1st of 2019. Yeah, over 2 years. But this is the longest I've ever been single, but it's also a lot different. Like, I'm divorced, I have a kid, like, I'm older, and, like, that's something that's kind of fucked up is, like, people have so much assumptions for people who are older, and if you're not fitting into that cute little box that you think every 35-year-old human should be in, I don't even want to give you the time of day. And it's like, it's so frustrating because, like, my friends and people who love me, they're like, damn, you're so awesome. They're like, anybody who actually gets the time to know you, like, you fit in no box and you're amazing. So it's like, you may not have what all the other typical 35-year-olds have, but what you have is more deliciously amazing. You got that moisture, bitch. What time is it? Okay, so it's 1:35. So we have just less than an hour because Rainbow should be home at 3, but I want to make sure to end before she gets here, so like 2:30 at the latest. Miracles can happen, twins even with the year gaps, right? You can have twins with years gaps, almost a decade. I get messages telling me there's fake profiles of me everywhere. It's frustrating. Damn, girl, I'm sorry that happens to you. I've had that happen to me. That's frustrating. Fuck. That would make it difficult. That would make it highly difficult to make a profile. But that's crazy. That's crazy. It's been a long time. Like, really, it was that one guy. Um, And like my Tinder is verified. Every single thing that I use, I'm verified on. That's the one thing that I can say in your experience. If you do decide to actually use those apps, do what you have to get it verified. So then at least, when people are finding them, you'll be like, no, if it doesn't have that blue check mark, baby, it ain't me. You know? Oh, so that's one of I'll swipe left usually if a person doesn't, especially on Tinder. Like if you're not gonna take the time to get your fucking shit verified, which is super easy to do, like you're just on there for fun and games, and I don't want you. You know what I mean? To each their own. But most of the people who don't verify their accounts, they're just looking for hookups. So, and some of them who do verify their accounts are still just looking for hookups, but they'll say it. And I think that's cool. Like, I wish more people would do that. Just fucking say what you want. Don't try to beat around some bushes and make someone think one way and do another way. Man, I'm so happy that you popped in, Harley. Just like, this is exactly what I was needing. Like, I wanted to make some content so I could just get that moisture and let it pour on me like a delicious waterfall. I was hoping for some consistent conversation, which I am getting and I am loving. It'll be perfect for, the festivities of the day. Having this meeting will help me not only interact with Voldemort, but then have to interact with, you know, one person in particular that I just don't care to see, but if I want to see my nephew and my mom, I have to deal with it, so. Okay, put a good amount of crumble. This crumble is called cave cake. I'm in my cave with my cave cake. And it's purple packaging. Well, you can't really tell, but it's a purple packaging. It has a purple disco ball. Wow. That's like that's like some intense type shit. Like, I mean, if you don't mind me asking, how many social medias are you on? Because, like, in order for them to get your pictures like that, like, you have to be on, like, a bunch of social medias, right? That's crazy. Like for me, I'm literally only on Facebook, Snapchat, and then YouTube. I am on Twitch because I literally made a Twitch because there was a game that I couldn't share here on YouTube, but I wanted to play it. Like I specifically bought this game to play in Club Kottontale, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 specifically, and we couldn't even share it in Club Kottontale. Talk about disappointment. Um, but I don't use Twitch, not even to watch stuff. Like it's just there. Same thing with Twitter. I had made it a Twitter because I was gonna start doing a business sort of thing, um, but decided not to do that. But I decided just to leave it. I may use it in the future if I decide to try doing another small business type thing. But the only platforms that I use are Snapchat, YouTube, and Facebook. I feel like that sort of stuff happening to you has to be because you're like on Instagram and TikTok, like all of these things where it'd be really, really easy for someone to just take your content. Like that's so crazy. We do have great stimulating conversations. Well, not even these days. It's always been hard for me to come across consistent stimulating conversation. Like the last person that I had consistent sort of conversation with was hashtag money, and the last time I talked to hashtag money was 2019. um, yeah, no, so it's been, but it is extra hard these days because of everything has gone on. But I've been struggling to get consistent conversation for a long, long time. Um, but I already know that the next sort of like consistent conversation I'll get will end up being with someone who will either flourish into an extroverted friendship and we friend zone each other type of thing, or it flourishes into romance. Who knows? But I'm so glad that you were able to pop in. Like, for reals, hella needed good conversation. Like, with how crazy March has been, and then April just always being a crazy month, and then all the extra stuff that happened. Like, yes. Like, yes. That is awful. Honestly, I wouldn't even try to prove to people. You know what I mean? Like, but I also don't add strangers, especially not on Snapchat. Like, the people that I add on Snapchat, it's because I have interacted with them before. Like, I don't just add anybody, so I don't really have to prove that I am me because you know that I am me. Plus, there's like the thing is that you have a consistent style about you. Your hair is damn near always the same. And it would make it much easier for someone to pretend to be you. Um, Me, I make the live content. You can see my hair changing, so that's probably why it's less. But that's just crazy. Like I've always heard about it, but I've never like directly heard about like someone basically being used as a catfish. Like you could go on that show, Catfish, and be like, there's all these people who are using my image, you know, like that's crazy. That's crazy, dude. I'm so sorry that happens to you. I mean, the only thing that I can kind of bit on the flattery portion, but if you're anything like me, you won't even care about that. But they do it because they think you're gorgeous, and that's the main reason why people take someone's images and tries to pretend that it's them. But that is shitty because they can say and do whatever they want, especially if the other person's believing that it's you type of thing. I haven't, none of my friends have ever came up to me and been like, "Oh, this person was trying to pretend that they were you." I've never had that happen, so I can't even imagine. Yeah, no, I would imagine it does. Right? Right? Like hitting up people like, "Hey, I'm in a tough spot. I could use some cash for me and my boy," type of thing. Dude, yeah, man. I don't even know I don't even know how you would go about trying to fix that. I guess you would just like try to constantly when people come across those, just be like, block them or flag the account. You just have to consistently have people flag those other accounts type of thing. I don't know. That's so crazy. That is definitely scary though. Cheers to hoping that that dissipates. It's currently a quarter till 2. I'm feeling a lot more moist than we were when we first started. Um, because my hands are being so iffy, I definitely am just going to chill here at my camp. Not going to be going anywhere, just chilling. No need to go do anything. I probably should feed her. Oh no, she doesn't even need any food. It's because we haven't moved. But there's no need for it. I'm going to go by the fire. Let's see if we have anything to cook real quick. Ooh, she looking beautiful by that fire. Okay, got some big game that we can make. Why not, do some cooking. But yeah, like, Rainbow will be home at 3, and then shortly after that, we will be getting picked up to go to my mermies for bunny day eating and social interaction. I get to see my little brother, my youngest brother. I have 2 little brothers. I have 2 older brothers and 2 little brothers. Yeah, you heard that right. 5 of us, and I'm the middle child. How convenient, right? One girl, and I'm not just the only girl, but right smack in the middle. I have 2 older, 2 younger brothers. But yeah, my youngest brother is gonna be coming over, and there's a fruit salad pie that's gonna be made. There's gonna be some beef. It should be fun. And getting the medicine in me definitely has made it to where I will more so enjoy it. And then also Club Kottontale gave me that moisture to where, it'll just be easier to do the day's festivities versus if I had just stewed on it without making some content. Right? Yeah, it will be a great evening indeed. Great afternoon into the evening. It'll definitely be super great. Especially cuz like I kind of hope that my mom did me up an Easter basket. Not gonna lie, like I like getting Easter baskets, so I kind of hope that I have a little Easter basket. She'll probably have one for Rainbow because that's her granddaughter. But I'm very excited for Rainbow to open her baskets when she gets home, and I'm hoping that that little half hour before her grandma comes to pick us up, I'm hoping that's enough to sort of her to enjoy, open all her things, maybe eat a thing or two because this is the first basket that I actually have gotten her candy. I have never done that. So, and it's like more exciting with it is that like some of the candy she's actually had and I know that she really likes it. So like I got her this like tiny little carton of mini robin eggs, which are just Whoppers, but they're shaped like eggs and decorated, look fun. And she loves those, so I got her a little box of those, and also gummies. Gummies are a big one, and then Smarties. Smarties are something that both of us love, but they came in like this really cool egg that she kept being like, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse. Like she saw it and was just like, that's so cool. So I actually bought her 3 of those, not because I'm giving her all the candy, but because I'm gonna let her keep all the eggs. One of the eggs with the candy, I'm going to let her keep those Smarties, but two of those Smartie eggs are coming directly to me. Tell you what, I love me some Smarties. But she'll love being able to have those eggs that she can play with and put with her toys. Because for the most part, like, we have seasonal things that I let her play with, like during Yule time, there's like extra Christmassy things. During Bunny Month, there's more bunny themed things for her to play with, so on and so forth. All Hallows Eve, I definitely think is her favorite. I definitely think that Halloween, she loves everything spooky. She loves spooky things. So I would definitely go to say that Rainbow's favorite holiday is Halloween. And it's not necessarily for the candy, you know, she really loves like the decor, the spooky decor and things like that. Theo doesn't do Easter eggs or anything now, so I got him a PlayStation card and going to take him to Cinema Tuesday to see new. Yeah, you have to let me know how it is. I loved the first one. I thought the first Sonic was great. Like, that sounds fantastic. You know what I mean? You're still celebrating, you know, still doing something, but you gotta do it the way that they like it. I've actually never done an Easter egg hunt. I mean, my child's only 3, but we've never done, you know, where I've hid the eggs and had her try to find them. Or wait, no, we did do that once, but there was nothing like inside of all the eggs. It was just her finding the eggs. Wait, what? Well, so I guess Rainbow's going to be here early because I just got a message from Voldemort saying that he's about to leave somewhere. So he'll be here in like the next 30 to 40 minutes. So I'm gonna finish what I was doing here at the fire and finish this toke and then say our goodbyes. I'm actually kind of happy about this, even though it's catching me off guard. I'm happy about it because it gives me extra time before Grandmarie picks us up at 3:30. So I like that. But yeah, I'm sure when it like as Rainbow gets older and we do more Easter type stuff, she'll be able to tell me what she likes and what she doesn't like. But I'm now remembering what we did for Easter 2020. Um, I actually did her first ever Easter egg hunt, and it's on Mama Cottontail. That Easter egg hunt is actually on my mom channel that I have with Rainbow. We don't post as much content there, but that's because I have to be in a good headspace to be able to produce that stuff because that's my mom channel, the family friendly club content. It's not like this where it's content. That's content with a K. This is content with a hard U. You know what I mean? um, but we did a little Easter egg hunt, and I remember in one of the eggs she had a pair of sunglasses, which was pretty cool. And she had never done an Easter egg hunt before that. I just like man, I should watch that video again. It's so cute. Her little outfit is super cute too. I do not have a Easter outfit per se. We have lots of stuff that's very springtime-ish, so I might put her in something. But really, this year was more about the baskets because I'd never given her candy beforehand. You know, um, I don't think her Easter basket in 2020 even had. I think instead, in lieu of Easter bag, we did the Easter egg hunt, and that was her Easter basket in 2020. I'm pretty sure. Her first Easter basket had a book, a baton, and a cute little squishmallow bunny. Her second Easter basket, or that was 2020, so it was the Easter egg hunt, and then her third one, which was last year, and one of my favorites. It was a blanket, a poppy blanket with a poppy dress, which I might have her wear her poppy dress since that is what I got her last year for Easter. But it was so cute the way that I did up the whole basket. Oh man! And then this year, I'd shared it on my Snapchat, but she, you know, is actually getting like candy and then a stuffed animal that she picked. It's gonna be so cute. Heck yeah! Thank you. Thank you. We will definitely have a fantastic and happy Easter. Thank you. I hope you had a great Easter as well. And it sounds like, you know, really Tuesday is when you guys will be celebrating for with the Sonic movie, which is awesome. But it really is lovely when you're able to pop in and talk. I agree. Ugh. Cheers to ex Harlequin X, beautiful Jody from across the pond, for popping in and enjoying a very wonderful chat and gave me all of the moisture. It's gonna be definitely a fantastic day. I get to get dressed, which I may even keep these ears on. I haven't fully decided yet, but I might actually keep these ears on because my outfit that I'm gonna be wearing is gonna be like this really cute like seafoam light green sweater, and then I'm gonna be wearing purple leggings with a cute pair of shorts underneath. Like I am in love with my outfit, and these actually wouldn't look too bad with the sort of look. Aw, thank you. Yes, it's been an absolute pleasure. Always is when you pop in, but I especially needed that extra moisture for today. I'm not thinking, unless I talk about it, I'm not thinking about, the romantic loneliness that popped up from uh, doing an awesome solo date. Like, I for realsies loved my solo date weekend. But man, nothing like solo dates to make you remember that you haven't had real dates in a while. But yeah, they're coming from Rainbow's great grandmother's house, and I'm pretty sure that's about 40 minutes. So they'll actually probably get here right around, just before 3. A little bit early, but not crazy early. Oh, my fucking... I hate when my face itches. Ugh. Alright, thank you to Harley. And of course, thank you to anyone that's been lurking, twerking, watching this incognitally, or especially those watching it later on as posted content. You couldn't tune in when we were live, but you still wanted to catch the contentery, so I appreciate you. And as always, thank you to anyone who, regardless of how long, like, I make content for me. This is therapeutic, so anytime anybody pops in and, you know, enjoys the content, even if they don't talk to me, I appreciate it. But I especially appreciate people like Harley who actually, take the time to chat with me and, so thank you. And only the universe truly knows when we're going to make content. Like, Rainbow went with her dad on Friday, so Friday I could have made content. Yesterday on Saturday I could have made content. But really, it was Sunday that we actually ended up making some content. So really, we can think about it, maybe want even to make content, but in the end, the universe is the only one who knows when we'll make some contentery. So until then, and always, remember, be kind to yourself and everyone else. And we'll see you next time. Bye.